Good afternoon, it's Jo Armstrong here, and I have got a very cool little trick for you this afternoon, all about creating your own background paper. I am going to share an idea with you which I cannot claim as my own. I was shown this idea so many years ago that I've forgotten who gave it to me, but I've remembered it because my ruler was permanently changed, and you'll see why. I would love for, if anyone remembers who told us about this idea. I know it was a close to my heart sister, and I can't remember who, but it's old school. It would be such a long time ago. This is just a plain piece of white daisy. It's not watercolor paper. This works really well on watercolor paper as well. You're going to need your watercolor paints for this. Now, I was very lucky. I purchased this this watercolor brush when it came out. It's the wide flat head one, and I know they're no longer available, so you can't get them anymore, and I'm really disappointed by that. This idea you could still do with a nice wide flat brush, but I find my watercolor pens much easier to use. Anyway, I'm just making sure it's nice and damp on the end because I'm going to need that really wet since all my paint is dry at the moment. Right, so the way I'm thinking at the moment, I found these sticky notes in Watercolour, and they're really cool. As you go through the pad, they're different colours, and I want to split them up. So you've got one that looks a bit like green apple, and then there's a raspberry. That's that one. I don't want to peel the rest off as well. So there's a raspberry, and then a colour that looks to me quite a lot like bluebell, and then there's a deep purple. I hoped it was grape, but it's actually closer to pansy, and then the colour on top is lagoon. So I am going to try and colour match those because I want to use some background paper to decorate a sticky note pad I'm going to give to my ladies. So these are my 5 colours I'm trying to work with. And I've got a sample of each cardstock in front of me. I've cut some envelopes on the Cricut, which I'm going to incorporate into their sticky note pads. It's going to open and then there'll be a little envelope on the inside. Right, so these are my 5 colours, and that's the order in which I want to do them as well. So I'm going to leave those there beside me because I'm going to want to look at those as I go. I'm going to start with the raspberry, and here's where the sneaky wee trick comes in. Here's my ruler. I actually did this to my close to my heart ruler too, but after probably 5 years I finally peeled it off. Underneath this is foam tape, and you're going to want to do this to your ruler or to a ruler that you've stolen from your children or whatever, because you need to lift it off the page. So we're going to use our watercolours on the page, and we're going to measure across. I'm starting on the 1/2 inch there, and I'm going to go all the way down the page. So the first colour I'm going to use is a raspberry. On my paints over here, raspberry is quite a deep colour, but it's a combination between these two, so you want to use both those. Make them both wet before you start. Bring some of the dark into the light. There. Okay, happy with that. So press down on your ruler in the centre and go all the way across, edge to edge. Then go back and drag the original colour along as well. Now, if you've done it right, hopefully the ruler won't touch the page. We're now moving down to the next 1/2 inch line. Oh, sorry. Actually, no, we'll do all the raspberry first. So there are going to be 5 colours. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next one starts at 9. So I'm just leaving a gap for all my other 5 colours to come, my other 4 colours to come in as I go across those ones, and I'll do all my raspberry right now. So here comes my second layer of raspberry, edge to edge, and go back and pull the colour along again. And lift up your ruler carefully. 1, 2, sorry, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next one will be on a 1/2 inch line. keep this quite wet. Squeeze more paint in if you need it. I'm going to move my colours off. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next one's the 4-inch mark. I've managed to put my mat down upside down, so my numbers are decreasing as I go down to the bottom. But obviously it doesn't matter as long as it works for you. You're going to do every 1/2 inch line. 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next one's the 1/2. And fingers in the middle. Really important to hold your fingers down in the middle of the ruler. Because otherwise the ends do flip up by the time you get there. Right, that's the last one. Just to make sure it's nice and clean, I go into water before I go to the next colour. Your brush, your watercolour brush, will still have some colour on it like that, but to be honest, it doesn't matter too much, it will disappear. Now the second colour I want to use is the pear. So my pear over here is quite a yellowy colour. It's this one with a little bit more yellow in it. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow from here into that colour there. So we'll make this one wet as well as this one. And then go into here. And that's my pear. Put the roller down. Now if you go straight away, like I'm about to do for time, if you go straight away, just mind that you're not touching the raspberry with your ruler or with your fingers, because obviously that's still busy drying. Right, I'm on the 1/2 inch just below where I did my raspberry. Always do it twice so you drag that colour along. What you'll notice the first time is that it pretty much pulls the colour at the start, and you want to go back and grab it and pull it so that it can spread out a little bit more evenly. You can see how we're going. Now it is uneven, it's not perfect. It will never look perfect because this is hand done, but it's still a really cool effect. And my idea is that you're only going to use part of it. It'll only be a small section that they'll see. So the fact that it's not exactly uniform all over, that actually doesn't matter. Right, my third colour here is Lagoon. So for Lagoon, it's a combination of 2 colours again over here. A bit of a blue and a bit of a green. So you want in here a bit of this one, so add some water to there and add some water to your green just above it as well. And then go back to your page and pop it in. We are now starting at the 10.5 mark. One last colour to go. And it's a pansy. So pansy is in here. Bit of dark purple, bit of light. So we'll put some water in there. And add a little bit of the dark as well. Right, there we go. So I've got a cool sheet of 12 by 12 paper ready to go, which matches the 5 colours, or close enough to the 5 colours that I wanted. Not bad. Yeah, I think that one's probably the best. Lagoon, well done. Pear, a little bit pale for pear, maybe more yellow next time. And the raspberry, not bad. So those 5 colours are pretty close to the ones I've put on here. So that is a neat little trick using your ruler, foam on the back, your watercolour brush, or your watercolour, this one, a nice flat soft brush. It would work with your round tip, the medium round tip, which we do still sell, but it won't splay out quite as much, so the line won't be as thick. It might be exactly what you're after though, if you want more white to show between. Right, now I've just pushed record again one more time while I'm cleaning up, because I may have just remembered the name of the lady. Might be Victoria. Was it you, Victoria? Tell us if it was you. Right, so all I'm doing now, lifting that off, and I'm just cleaning the edges of my board with a wet wipe. And Victoria, could have been you. Let us know. Cool idea anyway, cool trick. And take the washi tape. What did we do before we had washi tape? Hey? Take the washi tape off the back and leave that to dry. Put it underneath something to flatten it overnight before you use it. Right, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Ka kite anō. See you later.